Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 9. So, we are quickly approaching the start of filming for the final season of The Flash in a few weeks from now, and though there is still, a while until it airs on our television screens, they will be mostly done with the season of filming and just filming the entire show by the time it airs. They might have anywhere from 3 to 5 episodes left of filming, something like that. I guess it depends on when it premieres, of course, specifically. But everyone that watches the show has their own wishes and overall expectations for things that they do want to see happen in the final season. Now, of course, by going through the comment section and all that and other videos of mine, I've seen stuff that you guys want to happen or not want to happen, stuff like that. But TV Line recently released an article which apparently breaks down the top 6 wishes that they have received from fans leading into the final season. Now, I say apparently, because who knows if it's exactly the top 6 or the 6 that they want to push, because maybe it'd bring in clicks to the article because they can put in hashtags and stuff like that. I'm not too sure, but apparently these are the top 6 wishes. Now, some line up with what I wouldn't mind seeing, and I've said that, yeah, that'd be pretty cool to see. And some are things that I have sort of said I don't really think they should be in the final season, and I've given pretty good reasons for them, and I'll have to bring them up again, in this video. So I'm not going to rant. I'll just bring it up, give my reasonings. But yeah. Anyway, this will be an interesting discussion, and there are some things where I agree on the overall idea, but disagree with either how TV Line has broken it down or what some fans have said in regards to how it should play out. Now, of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your top wish for the final season of The Flash, for The Flash Season 9. Whether it's in this list or not, you might have a completely different idea and wish than what appears in this video. So let me know in the comment section down below, as well as your thoughts on the wishes that TV Line has listed. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? And even my opinions as well. Do you agree and disagree with them? You might completely disagree with what I think, which is fine. We all have opinions. That's the whole point of living. And yeah, if you're going to enjoy the video, want to drop a like on it, show support, always greatly appreciated. But yeah, let's go over this article. So the title of it is The Flash's Farewell Run, Your Top 6 Wishes for the Final Season. So number 6 is closure for the Legends. And this is what TV Line, they say, many readers see an opportunity for The Flash as the last true Arrowverse series standing to wrap up dangling storylines, including the future kidnapping of Oliver and Felicity's son / Mia's brother William, but most of all, and despite Flash boss Eric Wallace speculating that he would not have time to do so, there is the hope that Barry and co can rescue Sarah Lance and the other Legends of Tomorrow from Time Prison to which they were headed when that series abruptly ended. I definitely want to see the Flash do a Legends of Tomorrow episode to wrap up the Arrowverse, said TV Line reader 69 Road Runner. Now, I've given my thoughts on this a couple of times when people have asked me, whether it's in my through comment sections or for videos or on social media and stuff like that. And I've said no. If The Flash had 20 episodes for the final season, then I'd lean towards, okay, I'm open to the idea just because they might have time to do it. But I was expecting the final season of The Flash to have maybe 15 or 16, potentially 18 episodes at most. And I was against the idea at that amount. So with The Flash only having 13 episodes for the final season, I am 100% completely against this idea. It's not The Flash's job to wrap up Legend of Tomorrow, because as soon as that happens, it's why not wrap up Batwoman? Why not do something else that Supergirl couldn't handle? Why not wrap up more in Black Lightning? Etc, etc. Oh, there was this dangling storyline from Arrow that they didn't wrap up. Wrap that up. You open up a can of worms when that happens. And The Flash just doesn't have enough time to even deal with one of those, which, someone's asking for the Legends stuff. Legends do what they did, and you'd have to dedicate an entire episode for that. I'm completely against it. Some might disagree, but it's just The Flash doesn't have enough episodes, and really, Eric Wallace sort of said it himself. They just wouldn't have the time to do so. If they were stuck in Central City, then maybe, but then again, how's Barry going to know? And conveniently, it costs a lot probably to do future stuff. It's just out of the question, in my opinion. Number 5, Wally returns. As you're about to see in the next few slides, the return of familiar faces from the Flash's past are a high priority for many fans. And while the likes of Superman / Clark Kent and Lois Lane, at least the Earth Prime versions that Barry has actually interacted with in crossovers, Mia Smoke, William Clayton, and Ralph Dibny racked up a few votes. Didn't realize Ralph Dibny did. Iris's brother speedster Wally West is among the top 3 characters you would like to see make a final season encore. And of course, you already know, I want to see Wally back. I want to see Keenan Lonsdale back as Wally. And the main reason for that is because he was meant to appear in the past 2 seasons and they couldn't make it work. One, because of pandemic stuff and all the quarantine stuff. And then the past season because of scheduling. They just couldn't make it work. So I would like to see Wally appear in more than just one episode. I'd like to see him in like a handful of them, maybe towards the end, like the last 3 or 4 episodes. But even if we got one episode, I'd be happy with. So I'm completely on board with Wally West coming back. It's a must. Just because, one, he's a Flash character. And 2, it just feels weird that we haven't had him. And I think if you're going to write off the show, I think it makes sense that he plays some part in that, whether it's large, whether it's small, whether it's medium, just some way. I think Wally has to be there in some way. Number 4, Oliver somehow returns. The return of Arrowverse GOAT Oliver Queen, as TV line reader Azerti dubbed him, is as described by many fans as it is improbable, seeing as Oliver heroically, truly, and sincerely died during the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event that preceded Arrow's very final episodes. But even a Barry/Oliver bromance flashback could do well to bring the Arrowverse, which launched 10 years ago this October, some symbolic closure. Now, I do wonder if the person who wrote this article forgot that Oliver became Spectre, because we did have the comic, Earth Prime comic that came out, over the past, in the beginning half of this year. And for those who haven't read it, the Spectre, or Oliver Queen's version of the Spectre, appears towards the end of that comic. Now, it wasn't the future, but obviously he can transcend time and everything like that. He can just do what he wants. So that's what people are expecting. I think people are expecting Oliver Queen to show up in his Green Arrow suit and be firing bows and arrows. They're expecting Oliver to come back as the Spectre. So I don't know if the person who wrote the article, who wrote it? Matt Midovich, he's like the head of this, so he watches the Arrowverse. Maybe just a brain slip or something like that, I'm not too sure. So that's what people will be expecting, Spectre. Now, in regards to the context of that, maybe there's something where Barry is like dealing with a lot of like crazy stuff and the Spectre can give him guidance. So he could get maybe Oliver Queen or Stephen Amell coming back to play the Spectre in one episode, maybe towards the end, maybe towards the beginning, whatever it is, and it's like a guidance sort of thing. So we always saw Barry as the Padawan, if you want to call it, to Oliver Queen's Jedi, or Oliver Queen was the mentor. So maybe we get one final episode of that, and it's Oliver Queen as a Spectre mentoring Barry. That'd actually be really cool if they went down that route. But yeah, I don't think anyone's expecting, like Green Arrow to actually come back. We're expecting Spectre. Number 3, Kara returns. A reunion with Kara Danvers, played by Melissa Benoist, would be, in a word, super for many who loved that duo's dynamic. They had such a great friendly chemistry, TV line reader Liz observed. Added Ingmar, my biggest wish for the final season of The Flash would be a guest spot for Kara, or Supergirl, to wrap up their friendship, which of course was worthy of a crossover song embedded above. Like they put the video of the Super Friend, I guess it was. And I agree. I'd like to see, Barry and Kara always had that really good friendship chemistry, which is weird. Barry had like a really good one with Oliver Queen, but then also a really good rapport with Supergirl or Kara as well. Now, the cool thing that they could do with this as well is because if you've watched the finale for Supergirl, was that last year? Well, I can't remember when it was. Time's a weird thing. But anyway, Supergirl, or Kara, reveals to the world that she is Supergirl. So the world knows that Kara Danvers is Supergirl. So if she appeared in The Flash, it'd be interesting to see the follow on from that. Like, has her life changed? Like, what's going on there? So they could update us in regards to like a 18 months or like 2 years later situation in regards to what Supergirl's life is like now after revealing her identity. So you get to have the comeback and you get to see them on screen together again, while also getting an update from Supergirl as a show. So you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone and please more than just Flash fans, but also people that want to know what happened post Supergirl's story on the show. Number 2, Cisco returns. I mean, this is one that I've seen multiple times. Barry's BFF Cisco, played by original cast Carlos Valdez, was last seen in the season 7 finale where he officiated WestAllen's vow renewal. But hopefully he puts in at least one more appearance, possibly to officially make an overdue discovery. I hope the show ends with Cisco at least rediscovering the multiverse, says TV line reader Daniel, thus leaving the possibility of Arrowverse characters maybe one day showing up on Superman and Lois, Stargirl, Gotham Knights, etc. if there's anything that happens after that. I agree with Cisco. I think Cisco will be there. It'd be shocking. I think he's the one person that's not on the show at the moment that I think every man, dog, what do you want to call them, just being with like organisms within them, you know, just an organism in general, is expecting Cisco to be back in this final season. Now, he is on another show. I think it's a Hulu show, but it's filming now, and I think it'd be done by the time the Flash even starts filming, let alone gets towards the end of the season 9. So everyone's expecting to come back. The big thing is that Carlos kept the long hair when he was Cisco. He did get a haircut. He has short hair now. So if he comes back, either we're going to have short-haired Cisco or shorter-haired Cisco, because it's not like super short, but it's shorter than what we're used to. Or we're getting a classic CW wig on Carlos Valdez to play Cisco again. So I think they'll probably try and keep the long hair, so he might get a wig. So that'll be interesting to see. And the final thing, WestAllen starts a family. And they've broken this down in a weird way. They've gone, fact, Barry and Iris are destined to have at least 2 children, Nora and Bart. We know that. That is a fact. Fact, to date, there has been just one overt suggestion that Barry and Iris were actively, I guess it's like innuendo there, trying, and yet no clear blue or first response kit has been spied. Fact, the thing that Flash fans want most from the 13-episode final season is the official start of WestAllen's family, and ideally, not just some "I'm pregnant" declaration leading into the series finale's closing credits. Iris being pregnant better not be the note the series ends on, TV line reader Scott, for one, opened. I don't think the season has to take place over 9 months, nor should the writing surround Iris's pregnancy mimic that of Felicity's, but there has to be something substantial. Or, as TV line reader Nora simply put it, I need to see Barry and Iris start their family during the season and not only in the last 5 minutes of the last episode. I want the whole thing with the pregnancy reveal and them living it. Like Barry said, I want to be there for the ultrasound and all that comes with it. It doesn't need to take up the whole plot, but it needs to take place. WestAllen has suffered enough. And how? I mean, I still disagree with WestAllen has suffered. It's been a very big part of the show. And I do disagree with, like, we have to live with it, because that's always been an issue with other shows. I mean, they reference Arrow's one, but you see with other shows that you have the pregnancy thing and it's just annoying to deal with. Like, and you don't want, like pregnant Iris, she's just going to sit in a chair. Like, she's not going to walk around do anything. So the best way they do it is, and I agree that it shouldn't be some like, I'm pregnant, and that's like the only like reference to it, like the final 5 minutes or like a final scene or something. You probably have that Iris gets pregnant in, I don't know, 3 or 4 episodes to go, something like that, so you can actually give it its moment. Because if you do it in the final episode, the series finale episode, it's a footnote. Like, no one remembers that. But if you wanted to make it a big thing, you do it with like a handful of episodes to go, and then people are going to go, well, hold on. So you're not going to, well, obviously you're not going to see Iris give birth on camera on the show, but you're not going to see the kids. What I expect the show to do, just because of like the Flash is like a legacy thing, and you have characters from the future, I could easily see them doing like an epilogue sort of thing where we flash forward. And I think I've mentioned this previously, and this is sort of like what I want to see, but also just what I expect them to do as well, where you get to see what's happening 10 years in the future, 30 years, 50 years. You get to see the legacy of not only the Flash, like Barry, but just Team Flash, Star Labs, and what they've done. And you get to see the legacy of that over the next handful of decades, whether we only go as far as Bart and Nora, or maybe we even go further than that. You know, that's what I expect. So you can then flash forward like 9 months or something, or 6 months after the finale, and you get to see baby Bart and Nora. Then you flash forward to when they first discover their speed. You get to see a teenage Bart and Nora. You get quick little flashes, and then you get to see like an older version of Barry and Iris as well. I mean, we've seen the older Iris, but we've never seen really an older Barry, except for like that episode where he quickly ages. So you could see that as well as other characters as well. That's what I'd expect in like an epilogue sort of thing. I think that'd be pretty cool. But I think focusing on it where it's like its own sort of storyline, I mean, it wouldn't be interesting. Like, I think you'd have to be a bit delusional to think it would be actively interesting, a pregnancy storyline. Like, it just wouldn't, unless there's difficulties with it or something like that. But yeah, it definitely wouldn't be actively interesting. So I think you got to like handle it pretty carefully. And I think I think Eric Wallace has sort of referenced it in the past, so I think he would. I think he says he knows how he would handle it, but he maybe didn't think he'd get to the point where they do it. But it seems like they probably will. But that's a wait and find out, I guess. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it, show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions about these quote unquote top 6 wishes that TV Line has put together. Do you want to see all of them? Do you want to see some of them? Do you have different opinions on how they handle it, like I did with the final thing there? Yeah, let me know all your opinions down in the comment section down below, as well as your opinions on my opinions. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.